Yo, what's up, Bonehawk? Shujinkydink here. Welcome to a video all about Mortal Kombat 12 roster. A little while ago, NRS creative director Ed Boon did an Ask Me Anything on Twitter, wherein people were asking him questions about characters that may or may not return, and he was kind of answering likely, very likely, probably not, that kind of thing. So I wanted to go through what he said about each character and just see if we can kind of, now that we know that Mortal Kombat 12 is the one coming, and Ed Boon actually tweeted out again this morning, or was it last night? At some point, someone was like, he said, "Oh, have you seen the news about Injustice 3?" And someone tweeted, "We all know it's MK12, Boon, you know, like, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Well, I guess you didn't get my joke." So clearly he was joking about Injustice 3. Sounds like Mortal Kombat 12 is what's in the works. So we can kind of guess that those answers that he gave were probably on MK12's roster. So I'll stop blabbing and let's get into it.
Accept your death.
Okay, so I've started by pre-filling ones that, like, he didn't really mention, but, like, come on, like, they're going to be in the game. We kind of know they're going to be in the game. So we got Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Kitana, Raiden, and Liu Kang. I just don't see them making a Mortal Kombat game without these iconic characters. It would just be weird to me. So I put them in very likely, although I guess nothing's guaranteed. There was a Mortal Kombat game without Scorpion at one point, but I don't think that went over very well. So the first character that I kind of want to talk about is Tremor, because Ed Boon said he was very, very likely. So almost pretty much confirming that Tremor will be in this game. You know, so, I mean, that's pretty cool. Tremor, I really like Tremor's design. I like that they brought him from the Special Forces. I would like to see more kind of like background characters be brought forward, I think. I think that would be really cool, and they have like such a wide pool to pull from that I think there's just so much untapped potential there. Or characters that just appeared in one game and we never really saw them again. So, I mean, there's just so much to flesh out, you know? So, anyways, he said Tremor is very, very likely, so that's pretty exciting. Next one is Draman. Said not likely. That doesn't really surprise me. I don't think Draman was ever a very super popular character, but I mean, maybe you liked him. Where are all the Draman stands at? You out there? I should mention that I got this list from my good friend Majin Wu, fellow Baraka player. He posted it on Twitter, so I'll link to that in the description down below. So then we got Tanya, Striker, and Cassie. He said, "Stay tuned." I have no idea what "stay tuned" means. If that means they're in the game or not, or they're just not ready to talk about that quite yet. Which is very interesting for me, because especially Striker, like, seems to have like this weird cult following. I don't mind Striker as a character. Is he kind of bland and like not really a super original idea? Yeah. Is there a lot you could do with him? Probably. So I mean, why not bring him back and just reimagine him, you know? Cassie Cage, like, I just feel like they've kind of run the gambit with her as far as she can go, I guess, unless she's just going to completely take over, but she doesn't really have the charisma that Johnny has, and Sonya's like an MKOG, so like, I'm not really sure. Tanya, another fan favorite, you know, I think seeing it, people love the Adenians, man. People go crazy for these. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see her back again in some aspects, not really sure what, because we really don't know anything about the game other than Ed Boon's kind of just come out and be like, well, yeah, okay, it's been leaked. That's what we're working on, guys. Surprise, you know? So, which has got to be disappointing. Again, the way that he, like, addressed it so quickly just really felt like it was kind of a setup thing. You know, like, maybe this was an intentional leak. I think I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but anyways, we'll never find out about that. So, moving on. Alright, so this next one is interesting. Reptile, a good chance, a likely chance. So Reptile becomes the first one in our likely scenario there. So that's pretty cool. And I really want them to bring back Human Reptile. That is my favorite iteration of Reptile. I don't know if there's any Reptile stands out there, if what you think about Reptile. The lizard is just so, like, I don't know, I just don't really like it. Like, I get it, he's like a, what's his race called? Zaterran? Something like that? But I mean, the Human Reptile is just so cool, and he just transforms, like his head or whatever. So, I don't know. That's how I'd like to see him come back, but I'm not NRS, so The next pit I don't have a actual icon for, but it's unorthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. He said highly unlikely. There's some throwaway ones down here, like Darkseid. So we'll use Darkseid for unorthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Sorry, Darkseid. Sorry about that. So the next one is Scarlet, to which Boone said, "Can't answer that. Can't answer that." Like, ooh, what does that mean? We're putting that on unsure for now, but like her redesign in MK11 was so good. Like, her voice actress was absolutely, in my opinion, the best in the game. Phenomenal. Really loved what they did with her. It would be a shame to kind of throw her away, like one and done her kind of a thing, but I mean, I don't know what you really do with her from there. It depends on the story, I guess, and then we don't really know that at this point, so. Serena, he said, can't imagine we'd see the last of her. Which sounds like a likely. This was another one that everyone was kind of like, put Serena in the game, put Serena in the game. I'm one of them. I think Serena's a fantastic character. So I think I'm going to put her in likely for right now. For Cabal, he said, perhaps. Also, no, question mark. So, I mean, I think the design of Cabal in Mortal Kombat 11 was pretty good. And I think he's one of those characters who can kind of just take a break for a couple games and then they bring him back and everyone's like, oh, it's Cabal, oh, crazy. So I'm going to put him at, I'll say unlikely. I'm not sure that I'm confident enough to put him in very unlikely, but we'll put him in unlikely for now. Alright, so next one, Smoke. He said, can he? Of course. I think this is Smoke. I'm going to put that in very likely. That sounds pretty confident. Plus, you know, Smoke was one that we saw kind of like as a side character in MKX, but haven't really seen a good rework on them since MK9. So they did the whole Anenra thing, so who knows what's going to go with that. But yeah, I'm a fan of human Smoke, not robot Smoke. But I mean, I'm not the biggest Smoke fan to begin with, so whatever happens to it. Here's an interesting one. Just squirreled. I just straight up squirreled for a second there. Shujinkydink. Likely at some point in the future. That is actually surprising to me because I thought this character was like kind of a flop and like a one-off thing. Although before like the rework, I'm trying to find him in the thing here, he actually had like a pretty big part in the story. So like, it's really interesting. I'll put him in likely. For this game, not sure. He did say in the future, but I mean, the game's in the future, so. And this is what we're going off, so we'll go likely. So that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting so far. Chameleon. Sounds point to yes. Yes, and this is Chameleon with the KH, which is the female Chameleon. Where are you on my list here? And I wonder if they're going to put both of them in there. But I mean, that's very likely to me. And that's another character I've been waiting on a redesign for since frickin' Mortal Kombat Armageddon on the frickin' Wii. Like, come on now. Like, you just have such a cool concept of a character here. You can do so many things. Invisibility, among other things. So, I mean, I don't know. This is pretty cool. I want to see them again. Ashra, absolutely possible. That's not as confident as a response as I would like to put them in very likely. But it's enough for me to put it in likely at least. You know, maybe, absolutely possible. You know, this was a while back, so maybe they're kind of, I don't know. We're working things out at the table at this point, but who knows? It's very interesting. Mileena in the next MK game, likely. I mean, that'll make Mileena stands really happy. I know they love her. Doesn't sound like a very likely, though. But, I mean, you know what? I think I'm going to put her in very likely anyways, because with all the backlash and stuff, and, like, they even memed about it in our intros of people like, where's Mileena? Where's Mileena? I feel like they maybe got the hint and like, okay, well, we'll put her in, you know, so there we go. Su Hao, he just said, who? Which we know how Boone feels of that character. That's our first. Definitely not. Absolutely not in this game. Just really wants to remember that that character does not exist. I didn't really play Deadly Alliance, so I don't really know much about him. I just played him a little bit in Armageddon because he was like absolutely disgusting and did like ridiculous damage. Here's the one we've all been waiting for. Quan Chi, my boy, my boy. He says, drumroll please, likely. Bam, likely. Bam, I'm super unbiased, so I'm just going to throw it in very likely because that's how I feel. Yeah, eat my nuts, yeah. Quan Father returns in MK12. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Me and my boy massacring people again. The trance. So predictable, you know? Can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's not even happening. It's not even confirmed. Nothing's confirmed yet. I'm just excited. Kung Lao, trick question. Someone asked Kung Lao. He said, trick question. I'm assuming he's talking about, he's maybe hinting at Kung Lao and the great Kung Lao? Saying, like, that's a trick question. Which one are you talking about? You know, like, maybe kind of confirming one or the other? Great Kung Lao would be cool. Although I don't really know what the difference would be. Does he still use a hat? I think he had a hat. The only time I remember ever seeing the Great Kung Lao after, just assumed is this part in story mode, was in that really old, like, 90s kind of 3D blocky animated, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Journey to the Tournament or something like that, and they do like the flashback of Goro beating the Great Kung Lao. It's the only other time I remember ever seeing him. He might be in some endings and stuff in the last few games, but never seen him there. Chameleon / Havoc. Signs point to yes. That sounds like a very likely. Havoc for sure is one that, like, they would kind of be dumb not to put him in, because they built him up so much in the comics. Everyone's been kind of asking for him. It's really just, it would not be a good business move at this point to not put him in. And then again, Chameleon, so it's kind of saying yes to both Chameleons here. So it'll be interesting if there's some tie-in with Reptile maybe, because I think they're all of the same race. So I don't know. It's starting to build a bit of a story here as we're going. And here's the last one that I have here is Onaga, and he says, it's possible. It's possible. Where's Onaga? I just saw him not too long ago. Big old dragony dude. I don't really know how they would fit him in. Because, like, he's more of like a boss kind of character. So, like, I don't know, he was like the big bad of Deception, so, like, to have him in this game would be like, I don't know. I'll put him in unsure. I don't see that happening, but because it's possible, so that's where we're at. That's all the characters that have been hinted at so far. I don't know. What do you think? It's a really interesting spread on the very likely. A lot of characters that I wasn't really expecting to see, but I mean, I'm excited nonetheless. So I don't know. There's some characters that, like, again, I'm fairly certain that we'll see them, but I'm not really sure in what aspect. Johnny Cage, for example. He's a big one. Devora, she came back 2 games in a row. Is she going to make a third? You know? Cyrax and Sector? They were playable in MK11 through mods, but, like, not actually on the roster, which is kind of a weird decision. Prince Goro? I don't know. I don't have really any predictions because I don't have any information to go by. But this is like part of the fun of like waiting for the game to come out to kind of see, like, you know, what direction are they going? You know, where are we going? What are we in the current era? Are we in the past? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think it would be really cool if they like kind of rewound back to like the Outworld invasion of Edenia, like introduced a couple new characters and just saw some of these older characters kind of in that time frame and kind of see how that all went down. And be a cool way to do it. But yeah, what do you think here? Are there characters that you're excited for? Characters that you think should have been on this list or whatnot? But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it really helps me out. And subscribe if you haven't, because I make new videos all the damn time. Hashtag Bonehawks, all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonehawks in the next video.
your death.